Hey guys, Richard here. So in this review I want to talk to you about a new product called Livio. Now at first look, when you look at the sales page, this appears to be an application that allows you to drive traffic, and it says here, new app lets you start exploding 2 billion potential buyers for limitless free traffic. Now when I actually get into the product, I'm going to show you around the actual area itself. What it is an analysis tool, and it allows you to analyze websites. Now, whether they be your own or somebody else's, it'll give you lots of different analysis factors, which you can see here, lots of different metrics around that site. In this review, I'm going to go through what the actual site is and the type of information you get from it. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I think the money-making opportunity they're trying to give you here is, and some of the issues I see around that, especially if you're a beginner. So guys, in these reviews, as usual, they're based on my own opinion, based on many years online, buying software just like this one. And in this case, I'm going to look at it from a beginner's point of view, so you can really understand this product before you go ahead and decide if this is a good one for you. So guys, as I said, this is my Livio review. This is due to be released on Saturday the 29th of August at 11 AM Eastern, and it comes from Art Flair, Pablo Gasal and Ram Rawat. So in this review, we'll have a product overview, we'll go through the members area, I'll talk to you about the sales page, we'll go through the upgrades, I'll tell you what's good about the product or what's not so good about the product, and then I'll kind of summarize, and hopefully you can then take this information and make a more informed decision before you go ahead and decide whether this is a good product for you. So on the sales page, it talks about the software that automates tedious and difficult tasks in an easy way. They're saying it's based on a real life case study. It generates high quality traffic. They have live proofs and case studies, and newbies can drive traffic at zero cost. Okay guys, I'm back on the sales page. I want to show you why I think this is kind of confusing. So if I look at just these 3 simple steps. Step 1, lock in your heavily discounted copy of Livio. Step 2, create your Livio traffic machine in only a few clicks. And step 3, enter the link you want traffic to and watch as the profits come in. So this just looks like a 3-step process. I put some form of link in there and I get traffic. But this is what I actually get when I get inside. And this is a tool that allows me to analyze websites. So it gives me all sorts of SEO analysis on websites, lots and lots of different metrics as I showed you here. All these types of metadata type metrics, backlink counters, domain availability, email privacy testing. They're saying that it'll give me all of this types of data, and I'm not quite sure how that correlates with the actual sales page. So it appears to me I'm looking at a different product when they actually come inside. So I'm going to take the 2 things separately for now. So let's talk about what this site actually does. Now, the idea is there's a number of places here. There's the home, there's a site versus site analysis where I can put 2 sites in together and compare the 2. There's recent sites here that I've done the analysis on. There's an SEO source which I'll go through, which are really a bunch of links from Fiverr, and another source that will actually go ahead and fix issues for you in theory. And then there's a contact page here. Now there is also some separate training on here where there's a separate training link. So I just jumped over to the actual training link here, and what you have here is access to the main software obviously, and then you have the actual trainings themselves. So there's one here about how to use the software. Again, just a very functional, what the different types of data are that it produces. Not really a case study showing you how you're actually making money with it. Then you have some training here that Art actually takes you through his Fiverr masterclass basically. And this is from 2015. If I click on this video and go into YouTube, this is actually nearly 5 years old now, so it's kind of old training, but he does take you through how to build an account on Fiverr, and I'll discuss the business side of this in a sec, and you know, the types of things that you can do on Fiverr and the ways you can make money on Fiverr. So that's one training course that he provides. Then the Riser training course is more about freelancing, and then he has other types of training courses underneath here that again aren't really related to this product. They're just added on training, showing you how you can go ahead and make daily profits. And then this step-by-step guide to 10,000 a month again is a different training course again. So there is really only a couple of relevant training courses on here. And again, I'll go into the business side of this after I showed you the application. So let's jump back over. Now what you have here is this analysis tool. Now I'm not going to put a new site in here because there's plenty down here to have a look at. If I just look at the reports of any of these sites, let's just pick this one here. What it'll do is it'll produce a report that has many different SEO factors. Now, in fairness to the product, it does seem to produce this report and then give you warnings around the type of errors that you're seeing. So you can go ahead and look through all of these different types of metrics, and then it'll give you various pieces of advice on how to change them. Now, some of these, lots of people can change. So things like your meta keywords, your meta description, your titles of your sites, you can change all those types of things in WordPress, and it's relatively easy. But when you start looking at some of these factors like text to HTML ratio, you're not going to have a clue how to change half this stuff, right? Or what it even is, especially if you're a beginner. So again, look at this IP concatenation, whatever that says. You're not going to know what the hell that is and how to change it. Now, the idea is that you have folks on this site that you can connect with on Fiverr and another site that will go ahead and change these, but obviously they're going to charge a fee. So it gives you all of these types of details. I don't know if these are actually correct or not. I haven't compared this to another report, but it does give you all of these data points, right? And again, it's essentially given me 54 apparently data points. So this is what it's actually given me. You've got some page speed insights, and these are factors that will affect your ranking. So if I think about what they're trying to do with traffic here, if I have a site and I can correct all of these issues, I will improve the ranking of that site if I correct them in the right way. Whether you get floods of traffic to that site has got a lot of different other factors. Now, all of the content on that site might be SEO'd correctly, but it might be garbage. It might be old. It might be taken from somebody else. It might not be relevant to the person that's searching. There could be all sorts of different things that affect whether somebody's actually going to come along to your site. But these are the factors that do actually affect whether your site will rank for certain things. So there's no issues with this kind of data that this is producing. My issues are more about kind of the sales page piece, kind of big disconnect between what they're saying and what this actually is. Because if I come along to the sales page and I look to that 3-click thing, if I come back to home, if I just get a website address and put it in there and press review, that's the 3 clicks. And where's the traffic? The traffic isn't in 3 clicks. The traffic comes with a lot of work to fix all of the issues on your site. So they've kind of missed a big gap out there. And I do find it quite amusing that the way they're portraying this and what it actually is completely different. So you have all of these different data points, which is fine. And the idea is that you would come along and you would view these various reports. I'll go back to this one again. Oh, there's a different one here. These are all review sites that are actually being put in here by various people that are going to tell you this is wonderful and you can make money with it straight away, and none of them are going to use it and have no idea what they're doing with it, but there you are. So this is a score of 75 apparently. Is that good or bad? Who knows? And you have some things to improve. Again, that's a nice little feature on top. Now I can download this report, and the way that a lot of people are going to be portraying this to you is you can then sell that report to folks. Okay, so I could download this report. It comes as a PDF. It's very ugly, but it does come as a PDF, and you would have to go through this and then rebrand it, make it pretty, make it something that you can actually sell to others. That's the idea. So I'll come back to that report because for some reason that's hanging and not actually giving me the report straight away, but there you are. So again, you can also share this data. So if I wanted to share it to any of these platforms, I could share this. Now, why I'd want to share this amount of data to Facebook is beyond me, but there you are. You can share this to these platforms. So the analysis part of this is okay, although to be quite frank, it's not really needed because you can just go onto Google and just type in SEO analysis for free, and you get all of this information off multiple other sites anyway. Some of it will charge you to do some deeper analysis, but quite a lot of these will just give you the basic analysis in any case. So if I come over to somewhere like Neil Patel and look at the SEO analysis tools there, I put in a website earlier here, and it's given me all of these analysis metrics in a much nicer way, to be honest. So, you know, you don't really need it. Again, if I want to see all issues here, it'll give me lots and lots of different issues here, but what it'll ask me to do is actually sign in, because obviously it wants my details. So you can get it for free, guys, and it's not just this one. SEO web page analyzer, again, that's completely for free, and you can start looking through all of these things and look at the amount of data on here as well. So again, I haven't done like for like, and this is a lot of detail on here, so I will give him that it is giving me quite a lot of detail that potentially you could use to sell. So here I'm back on the actual report. It's a 23-page report. If you look at this, it's a real mess, really horrible to download. You couldn't use any of this. You'd have to completely redesign this page if you were to use this to actually sell to someone. It's a real mess, but you'd have to go ahead and do that anyway to rebrand it yourself. Now, what do you do if you have issues? Now, the idea is you come over to this SEO source, and they have people from People Per Hour and Fiverr. So basically, you're getting people who are freelancing to come along and fix your SEO issues. Now, what most of these are really doing is just providing backlinks or some form of guest post to provide backlinks back to your site. So there's no real correlation between a lot of the stuff that these guys are doing and some of these issues. You know, you could have done this in a slightly different way. If these guys are really going to be able to fix these issues, you really need to have some form of hyperlink here on each one of these that gives you the types of people that can go ahead and fix them for you, because you're very unlikely to be able to fix these yourself, especially if you're a beginner. You're not going to be able to understand most of what's going on here. And if I just come across here, a lot of these guys, I don't know, guys, they're just providing some kind of backlinking service that is very dangerous. I'll actually put a link to a really nice article by Neil Patel on backlinking below this review. You can go ahead and check that out. And I'm no backlinking expert. I do know that once you start messing about with backlinks on your site, you've got to be very, very careful, because Google don't like some of these spammy tactics for backlinks now. They have to be high quality, and you just can't trust a lot of these folks that are providing these. In a previous life, when I used to be sucked into doing all this, I used to use some guy on Fiverr to do backlinks. Suddenly he disappeared, and then he turned up again in a completely different profile and started doing it again. So I don't like any of this stuff. Now, that's a personal preference. You may not mind using backlinks, but again, if you're a beginner, you've got no idea what's going on here and why people are backlinking to your site. So you're kind of just putting lots of things in place that you shouldn't be when you're first starting out. Now, if you're doing this for clients, they're saying that the business opportunity is to set yourself up as some form of SEO guru and actually using folks on Fiverr to fix issues. So you would go ahead and you would have some form of profile on Fiverr or one of these other freelancing sites, and you would be offering SEO services out to people. You would then use this to analyze their site, and then you would provide them with the report, and then you would offer for money to fix the issues. And then rather than fix them yourself, you just go onto Fiverr and you get some of these other folks from here to start fixing the issues with other people's sites. Now, that's not something I want to get sucked into for a start. You've got no idea who these guys are, what their reputations are, and if they're even going to be there after a couple of weeks. And they actually have a statement down here saying these are recommended people based on their reviews and costs. We take no responsibility with outcome. Please use your own due diligence. So guys, don't go ahead and use these types of people if you haven't got 100% confidence with them on other people's sites that you're going to try and set up a business to provide a service for. It's so dangerous. But this is the idea. So the idea when you think about what the business is I would go onto Fiverr and I would set myself up as an SEO expert. So I typed into Fiverr SEO service, and lo and behold, there's 3,062 SEO services linked already on there. And these guys provide all sorts of different services. Google top ranking here, high authority backlinks and services here. Lots and lots of different vendors on here that are already providing this service. So what you're essentially doing then is now joining the pack and setting yourself up as a completely new vendor on somewhere like Fiverr, and you've already got a lot of these folks as your competition. So when they say on the sales page you don't have to be an SEO expert, theoretically you don't to run the report, but I think you kind of do to start fixing other people's sites. I wouldn't like to have this as my business and not have a clue what was going on, who was fixing what, and how they were fixing it. I don't think that's a very good way to have a business online. You're going to have some kind of credibility and some kind of knowledge. So, guys, if you wanted to buy this for $17 and have these kind of data points, you can go ahead and look out on your own site, then it could be worth it, because a lot of these other guys that I showed you do charge. If you go to the second level and want to actually look at it a little bit deeper, they will charge you. So $17 to get a tool like this, just to have a look at your site, might not be a bad thing, because you can see if I look on the actual Fiverr again, then most of these guys are charging 30 quid, 15 quid, whatever it is. So it's not far off $17 anyway. So if you wanted to buy this to have it as an analysis tool, then fair enough. What I do think is a little bit of a leap, especially if you're a beginner, is to use this and have this as the foundations of your SEO management business. And I think that's where the kind of leap has been made, obviously to sell this product to make it look a bit more sexy, but I don't think the link is there. I can't see the vast majority of beginners coming onto this site and actually setting up their own business and making money with it. So again, I'll leave that up to you. If you think this is something that you could really get your teeth into, this might be something that's useful, but there is a lot of gaps here, and it's not the best quality of report that I showed you as well. You'll have to go ahead and change that if you were to use it. So again, I come back to the sales page and look, this 3-step thing doesn't really exist. I know the way they do it. They want to make everything seem simple, but the reality is you put the link in there, you find the data for the site, you find the issues, you then sell that in the form of some kind of report that you have to make. So on Fiverr, for instance, if you set yourself up as a vendor on Fiverr, you've got all that competition, but let's keep that aside. That's how you would do it. You would sell it on Fiverr. Then you would also offer the service to actually fix those. So basically you're arbitraging that particular service. So people come along and go, yeah, please fix my issues. And then you go ahead and find other people on these other sites that would fix that for you and then charge that all back to your client. If that's something you think you could be happy with doing, then this could be something for you. As far as I'm concerned, I think it's all too big a steps for people that don't have a clue about SEO, and I don't think it's something that the vast majority of people will be able to do. Look down here, they talk about all of this income. Why don't they show you where the income's coming from and how this is working? Where's the case study that says, I took a site, I put it in this tool, I sold that report to the people. What is this? Is this money for the report? Is this money for something else? And then I use that to generate this revenue. There's no case study here that tells me end to end how this has been used to make money. And the main thing they're selling on here is the fact this is a traffic app. It's not a traffic app. It's really not. It can help you get a little bit more traffic if you increase your SEO, but it's not going to be something that transforms your website. So guys, you do get a 30-day money back guarantee here. So if this isn't for you, then obviously you can get your money back. So they're saying this application is worth circa $5,000. I'm not seeing it. This is some white label application that they managed to pick up and then trying to repackage and resell as a traffic app, and it's really not. So guys, here are the upgrades. The second number is always the downsells. So the front end is $17. I'll actually give you the details of these upsells in the description below. But Livio done for you is $67 down to $47, and that's a load of affiliate done for you products. Again, the link between affiliate products and this has lost me completely. They're all over the place is what this product actually is. Livio case studies, apparently 47 down to 37. I don't know why they're not providing case studies. If these are real case studies that are showing this application working, they should be provided on the front end. Livio reseller is 47 down to $27. Livio six-figure training is $197 down to $67. Livio O3 traffic software is $47. And Livio, this 45 WSO TD, is $37. I'll put all the details of this in the description. Pros, the software works. It does give you the analysis. It does give you that PDF, although it does need cleaning up and making look much nicer before you're ever to sell that to anybody. The data can be useful if you know what you're doing. There is certain things that you can get from this that you can go away and fix straight away. And they are factors that allow you to rank better. There's more to it than that. Most of the stuff to do with ranking is around the actual content of your site itself. But there are certain metrics in there that you can change to make your site rank a little better. And it has got a 30-day guarantee. And the cons, This isn't a direct traffic solution. If you look at the sales page and you look at the product, to me, they're totally different things they're talking about. In fact, it all surprises me now that when you're looking at these types of products that are coming from places like Warrior Plus, they very rarely tell you what you're actually buying on the sales page, which is strange. There's no other walk of life that you would go into and buy a product and then not know what it is before you actually got into the application. It's a very, very strange thing that people get sucked into. There are lots of free solutions to this on the web. Just search for SEO, free analysis on Google. You'll find loads. The training they provide is quite old in some cases. Not entirely irrelevant, because things like Fiverr are what they are. You just set up a vendor profile and you start building up your profile on places like Fiverr. It does take a while to do that, guys. You see the competition out there. This isn't something that's going to make you rich straight away. It's something you'd have to work on for a long time to get any kind of rating on Fiverr and be able to be competitive. And that's why I think you need to understand this subject before you go into it. There's a big disconnect between the sales page and the product. It's not newbie friendly, especially on the business side. And the making money angle seems to be a form of arbitrage, which is, as I said, you're providing a service on Fiverr, but you're using other people to fulfill that service. So it seems to be that form, but it never really explicitly says that on the sales page. So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 10, mainly because to me it's a kind of a confusing product. If it was just a standalone data analysis tool and it was being sold on that basis, then I would probably give it much higher, because it does give you a lot of good data analysis, although I think the interface itself needs to be cleaned up and made to look a lot nicer, but it does give you the general data. It's not a traffic solution, and again, I've said here, it's more like a data analysis tool, but it's being sold in a completely different way. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you got some value out of that. Again, one of these funny products, this one, it may be something that you might want to use in your own business to improve your own website, but at the end of the day, using this kind of thing to provide services to others, especially with the links that they're giving you, I think is a little bit stretching it, but you know, I'll leave that up to you. My name is Richard Darby. This is the School of Nomads. If you haven't been over to our channel before, please go ahead and hit the subscribe and notification bell, and I'll let you know whenever I release new videos. And guys, if you're looking to build a business online, go ahead and check out the link in the description below over to the School of Nomads, and I'll take you through the whole process step by step. Until next time, guys, take care.